And finally, he says that, in fact, does hell have a ceiling? You got to have some place to hang the hooks to, right? Does hell have a ceiling? This concludes, of course, in the following way. If hell has no ceiling, then there can be no hooks. And if there can be no hooks, he will not be dragged down. This is what a kind of 19th century deconstruction of hell might look like within a materialist framework. It already points towards Kafka, who's going to be talking about salvation in terms of doors that you might be able to get past. Same kind of material scheme beyond which one hopes, looks, seeks for some kind of spiritual, divine radiance. It's in trouble in this book. He's also, as I said, a womanizer, not just a lecher, but a womanizer, and much of the plot of the novel has to do with his infatuation with the beautiful young Grushenka. He palpitates for her. He's absolutely lusting after her. The book shows us how much she enjoys arousing him. She herself is something of a mystery. The plot, as I said, hinges around this because the night of the murder is a night where he is hoping, desperately hoping, lasciviously hoping, that she will come to visit him. And of course, his son Dmitri, who also is in love with Grushenka, is worried about exactly that outcome. So the plot, the murder plot, the homicidal plot, the parricidal plot, looks in some ways like a plot of sexual rivalry. The son and the father battling for the same woman. Dmitri is the oldest son and in some ways the most likable figure in the novel, it seems to me. Impulsive, yes, generous also, rash, but passionate and genuine. He is infatuated, as is his father, with Grushenka, but it turns out there's one slight hitch. He's also engaged to Katerina Ivanovna. And the book deals at length with the relationship between him and his fiancée, Katerina. It obeys the Dostoevskian law of insult and injury. Pride stamps it from beginning to end, and it's a relationship that will surprise us as Dostoevsky digs into it deeper and deeper. The book is filled with mysteries, with questions. We do not know, for example, what Grushenka ultimately thinks either of Fyodor or, in fact, of Dmitri. At the end of the novel, it will be clear that she does love Dmitri. But early on, we don't know that, and I think early on she doesn't know it. You can imagine how central these issues are. Are these feelings reciprocal or not? And I want you also to consider that a book in which there is mystery on these matters, does she love me or not? Does she know whether she loves him or not? Is a much more interesting book than one where these things are straight and clean and sort of made evident to us. Dostoevsky goes out of his way to flag Dmitri's potential as murderer. We know from numerous passages that he is tempted to murder his father, that just looking at his father might be enough, that the fact that his father may in fact be bringing Grushenka to the house would be enough. And yet what he says, and it's significant over and over, is, will I do it or won't I? He doesn't know. He doesn't know if at the moment when it's crucial, he will or will not go across that line. I want now to come to Ivan, who is the middle son, cold and contemptuous and referred to as the grave. He has a very, very distinct, cynical view of his family. What he tells Alyosha early in the book is, viper will eat viper. He says this a bit cavalierly. He has no idea when he says it that it's his own fate that he is predicting, that he is articulating. Because at the end of this book, his own mind will simply fall apart. Viper eating viper, reptiles devouring each other. The novelist André Gide said about Dostoevsky, I quote, "That which is opposed to love is not primarily hatred, but the rumination of the brain, viper eating viper, reptiles devouring each other." Maybe that's what thinking is. Thinking might kill you. I want you to reflect on what I just said. Thinking might kill you.